This is Change Your Mindset Podcast, the podcast that helps change your life by helping change the mindset of the 99% into the 1% mindset. Here's your host, Adrian Gomez.
Welcome to Change Your Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Gomez. So I was at the gym, I was on a treadmill, and they had a TV in front. TV, it was on ESPN, and it was First Take. So they were talking about a topic that I thought was very interesting because it's a topic that I talk about on this podcast. So they were talking about the champions, the Denver Nuggets, that won the NBA Finals over the Miami Heat. And they were talking about Nikola Jokic and how he was saying that basketball is not the main thing in his life and probably never will be. And to be honest, he likes it because he has something more at home that is more important than basketball. And the announcers were talking, they have respect, basketball is not his main thing, it's not his priority, but he's just good at it. And obviously his family is more important. And they were totally okay with that. And they said respect to him because, that's very important to family. And then there was a part, because a lot of people know Nikola is very good. This guy is a really good center, and a lot of people say he could be one of the best centers of all time. And during an interview, he said he's good, but he knows he can be better. But he's okay being good, and basketball is just something he's good at. Which the TV announcers ended up talking about is how these foreign players are so good at basketball, and this is not even their full potential. This is not even them at their best. This is not them sacrificing and putting basketball number one on top of all things. And they were saying how American players have fallen behind. And they brought up this very good statistic about the MVPs in the NBA. And they were saying the last 5 MVPs have been foreign players. So in 2019, it was Giannis. 2020, Giannis. 2021, Nikola. 2022, Nikola. In 2023, it was Joel. And before that, nothing but American players have won MVPs. But the last 5 have been players from overseas. And we all know basketball was created in the United States. But now, American players have fallen behind. And then they brought up how American players nowadays have no desire to be great. And they reference Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. How they had a work ethic, how they sacrificed a lot to be the best of the best, to be the greatest of all times. And they were saying these younger generations no longer have that. They have no desire. They don't want to be great. They're so focused on other things. And they no longer have that sacrifice to be great. And that's why American players are falling behind. And all these foreign international players are becoming better and getting all the MVPs. And they're going to eventually take over NBA basketball. And they said that Kobe Bryant once said that European players are more skillful and eventually will take over the game. And I remember him once saying that. And that was years ago. So I wanted to know exactly what he said. So I went back and found the article, and it was on June 3rd, 2015. And it was saying, Kobe Bryant believes European basketball players are more skillful than American basketball players. And says it's a growing trend that can be blamed on the greed and coaching at the AAU level. And Bryant said, quote, I just think European players are just way more skillful, end quote. Bryant said Friday night after the Los Angeles Lakers 109-106 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. Quote, they are just taught the game the right way at an early age. They're more skillful. It's something we really have to fix. We really have to address that. We have to teach our kids to play the right way. Bryant was quick to point the finger for the decline of skilled players in the United States. Bryant said, quote, when you have limitations and you understand your limitations and you stay within yourself, you can be great, end quote. Kobe did see, obviously, the decline of American basketball players and obviously European players being better, which is clearly the fact now because, like I said, the last 5 MVPs have been European players, which the TV announcers were talking about. And they also brought up how these international players, the European players, have no issues off the court. But these American players, the young ones, and they talk about Zion Williamson, John Morant, they all have issues off the court. And then they reference to society, how the generations are nowadays. How in America, we're also messed up here. In other places, they're totally different. They're not having any off-court issues like we do have here in America with these younger players. And they also brought up how nowadays younger generations don't want to be great. They're more focused on social media. They're more focused on likes, more focused on comments. Overall, they're more focused on their phones. Now they're so brainwashed and no one wants to be great anymore. No one wants to put in hard work. And this is why these foreign European players are getting better, because they're not so focused on what American players here are focused on. And now you see how society is nowadays, how it's fallen into sports. And now you see the results of it and the decline of American basketball players. And this is what I talk about a lot. People born in this country, United States, we take things for granted. We don't want to be great. We're okay being average. We're just so occupied and brainwashed with other things. We no longer try to better our lives. We never try to better ourselves. But people outside this country want to come here for a reason to get better, to be better, to have a better life. And that's why you can see it, like I said, in this basketball, like they were talking about. American players are falling behind. European players are getting better. It just shows how society is so different from here in America and society in Europe. Totally different. And going back to previous generations, like they talk about Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. These people wanted to be great. They sacrificed. They put in the hard work. They were disciplined. They were consistent. They became great. But generations nowadays don't want to do any of that. They're okay being lazy, complaining, whining, being victim, and never want to amount to anything better in life. But that's how this new society, these new generations are. You know, social media and technology really screwed up younger generations because that's all they do. And like I said, I see it everywhere. People just always on the phone. Their minds is zombies. Whether it's in public, in the gym, anywhere I go, people just head down on their phones. People can't even have conversations with other people anymore because they're stuck on the phone. People don't even know how to have conversations with people anymore. This is how society has changed so much. People are so glued to their phone, so brainwashed to their phone, that they will never amount to anything in life. This is going to be a slave to the system, slave to the rat race. People just waste so much time on their phones. Instead of all the time you waste being a mindless zombie, whether it's swiping, seeing the next video, whatever it is, people waste so much time. You can use all that time and effort into something else to be more productive, something that will better your life. But no, people are okay just looking at TikTok videos, Instagram posts, Twitter, whatever it is. They care more about that than bettering their own lives. And you're starting to see it. And like I said, the term they're talking about basketball, it relates to what I talk about. Society has changed so much. And everyone's mindset is messed up. It's terrible. For people like that, if they don't change how they are, they don't change their mindset, they're a lost cause. But for the people that are willing to put in work, that want to better their lives, and are willing to make the sacrifices to get there, you will go far in life. And it's going to be much easier for you to get ahead, because while everyone else is too busy on the phone, occupied, caring about likes and comments and all that stuff they care about nowadays, you're going to be getting ahead. And it's going to be a lot easier for you because it's less competition. And you're going to be walking all over these people. You just got to have that grit. You just got to get in there and put in the work. Because like I said, nowadays, these younger generations don't want to do any of that. You hear it all the time. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. They just rather complain and whine. And it's scary because if generations keep being like that, we're going to fall behind in a lot of things. You're already seeing it in some sports, like I said. Maybe you'll see it overall in the country will fall behind. These younger generations don't want to do anything. There's a study that says that American kids, what they want to be when they grow up, are social media influencers. In China, what kids want to be when they grow up, they want to be astronauts. So if you let that play out in the long term, who's going to be better off? Like I said, as a country, we are clearly falling behind. Nobody wants to be great anymore. People are okay settling for average, being normal. And you're starting to see the signs everywhere. Just like how the announcers on First Take were talking about. How now international players have taken over the game of American basketball. What's going to be next? That's going to be it for this podcast episode. I appreciate you guys, as always, for listening to podcasts. And thank you, Patreon member Blade262, for supporting this podcast and being a Patreon member. If you'd like to be a Patreon member as well and help support this podcast, the link is in the description below. I appreciate you if you do. Please share, subscribe on whatever platform you listen to. Keep up to date with all the new episodes that come out. Thank you guys again. I wish you the best. Keep grinding and go make something out of your life. Thank you again. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Change Your Mindset podcast. Be sure to tune in every week for a new episode. As always, change your mindset to change your life.